Good morning, global English students. It's nice to come here and talk to you again today. I hope your week is going really well and you guys are ready for everything. And I hope you're getting to know me pretty well. Some of you sent me emails. I try to respond to every email that I get. And thank you for taking the time to do that. Thank you for taking the time to send me a Kakao Talk message in this difficult time. I'm really sad I cannot get to know all of my students, but I have a plan that we're going to talk to each other very, very soon. I hope very soon. And I'm going to tell you my plan in this lesson today. So this is week five of Global English 1. You can see in that picture, this lady looks very relaxed, right? What do you think about that, though? She's drinking her coffee and she has her feet on the desk. Her feet are on the desk. Is that strange for you? I know that like Americans don't take their shoes off sometimes when they enter the house, so some Koreans think it's like a little bit strange. How about you? You think this looks strange? I'm curious. Now it looks a little bit strange to me after I lived in Korea for so long. I probably would not put my bare feet up on the desk like that, even while I'm relaxing and watching a TV show. Which is the topic of our lesson today, is what you do in your free time. What you do in your free time. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to go over some things about the future of our schedule and everything. And remember, if you guys have a question, please don't forget to send me an email or send me a Kakao Talk message. Okay? Okay. So here we are. What do you do in your free time? I know a lot of students are very active and they like to play soccer. They like to play sports, badminton, swimming, just working out in the gym. We don't have a lot of time to do it now, right? Because we're all in quarantine, right? Quarantine. That means that we all have to stay home because of 신종 coronavirus, right? So that's kind of tough for us. I know I saw some students sitting and drinking in the bar in Songhwan the other day. I hope you guys are not drinking in big groups. It's still kind of dangerous days out there. Few people is okay, but not this big groups of like 20 and 30 students all drinking. It's going to get back to normal soon, but we have to find a new way to spend our free time. So if you can't get together with friends, what do you do? Well, I know a lot of people are watching movies. I'm using Netflix these days. I don't have a lot of time for it because I'm preparing your lesson, but I try to watch Netflix as much as I can, as much as I can. Um, how about you? I want you to think about this week, think about your movies and TV shows that you like, if you like any. Well, here's like my students, they're always drinking like this, right? Out in the club, out in the bar. I hope you guys are not doing it too much nowadays, but I know it's a big favorite thing to do in free time, right? Favorite thing to do in the free time for many students. How about yourself? I don't really like to drink. I know some students don't like to drink too, but some students really, really love it. And here, how about, do you recognize that celebrity? Some of you do. He came to Korea, Conan O'Brien. Well, Conan, that's him in the PC Bang. He's trying to experience South Korea's culture. Pretty funny, right? How about you guys? Do you enjoy PC Bang? Well, nowadays it's probably bad to go to the PC Bang, right? Too many people. But it's kind of a fun thing for some students, even though I think many students play instead. They like to play PC games at home nowadays if you have a good computer, right? Okay. Have you seen this show, Itaewon Class? I was trying to watch it to improve my Korean skill. to improve my Korean skill, and it's on Netflix, and they have a 영어 자막. So I watch it one time with a 영어 자막, and then I watch it one time with the Hangul jamak, and I try to understand the Korean better, and I think it's improving my vocabulary skill and my ability with idioms. How about you guys? Have you tried to watch English television shows or movies to improve your English? It's kind of hard, right? Because sometimes we really want to improve English from we want to enjoy the movie, right? We can't enjoy it if we're studying. So it's a kind of difficult thing, but I know some students have really improved their English this way. They've really improved their English this way. So I want you guys to think about, for your next homework assignment, I want to see what kind of movies or what kind of TV show do you like to watch? Okay. What's your favorite genre? Like action, science fiction? That's what you guys call isip. So this is not just fantasy movies, but movies like set in space, 우주, right? Or something like or 화성, something about like a 외계인, like aliens. So this is science fiction. They use science to like make a story. It's horror, romance movies, or what we call romantic comedy, like a movie that's half romantic and half funny. Maybe you don't like any genre. Maybe you just like Japanese movies or Japanese animation, or maybe you just like Spanish language movies. I had some students who have this kind of interesting taste. So think about genre. That's what you guys say genre in Korean, right? In English, we say genre. Genre. It means like type. And when do you usually watch TV or movies? When do you watch it after class, before class, on the weekend? Do you watch it on your phone when you're on the subway? When do you usually watch it? And how much do you watch per week? Are you a TV-holic, or do you not really watch TV too much? How do you feel when you watch a movie or a TV show that you really, really like? Do you get lost in it? Do you focus on it? Do you do something else like wash the dishes or do your homework at the same time? So I want you guys to prepare some answers for these questions. Write them down, practice talking them a little bit, okay? I'm not going to collect this, but I want to have some conversation about this, and I'll explain exactly about that now. Okay, so we're going to do a Zoom class, okay? Do you know Zoom? Well, Zoom is a kind of good private way to have like a class. And I think maybe some of your teachers have been trying it. Have they tried it in your other classes? Well, I'm really sad that we can't see each other and we can't talk to each other. And I really want to meet you guys. You seem really, I read your emails and you seem like really good people. I want to get to talk to you. So I'm going to make a schedule. This is basically your normal schedule, okay? So I just have a class there for an hour and a half. And each of you guys, so based on your major, so sports 관광관리학과 is going to be 1 to 2:30 on April 20th. 경공학과 is going to be 11 to 12:30 on April 21st. And 아동복지학과, right? That's what is that? Child healthcare, right? Child welfare, 11 to 12:30 on April 22nd. Okay. If you can't make it, don't worry. I'm gonna record it and I'm gonna upload it the next week after we do it. So I want you to attend the Zoom class. Do you know Zoom's address? Okay, well, I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know about that, but make sure you write down this time here and set a reminder in your calendar about it. Okay? Okay, your important information to join the Zoom meeting. This is the address, and you're also going to need this ID. This is like my classroom, okay? This is my classroom. So you enter that ID and there's no password for it. You just enter that classroom at the correct time, and we should all be in there, okay? We should all be in there at that time. So this is all the information that you need. Go there at the correct time, and we should be there in the class. Make sure your camera and your sound are working. And we'll talk a little bit more about that so you can get it right. Okay, so you're going to have to go in here and join the meeting. Okay, you're going to have to sign up for it. So you know, if you can't understand the English very well, you can always scroll down to the bottom and change your language to Korean. Okay, if you really, really need to, you can change your language to Korean, okay? Okay, then you're going to enter your meeting ID. That's the number we gave you. You're going to enter it right there and click join. It's going to tell you to download the app. Okay, that's if you're using a phone, it's going to be an app. But if you're using your computer, you can download a file. All right, you can download a file. So sign up, join the meeting with my ID number that I gave you, and download the app. It's very, very quick. It just takes a few seconds to download, I think. Okay, then please enter your name. Enter your name here. I prefer, if you can, use Hangul. I'm not sure if it takes it or not. You can use English, but of course using Hangul is better. I can read Hangul, so I can know exactly what your name is in Korean. And then it's going to ask you to join your audio. You're going to click, even if you're using your phone, you're going to click join by computer. So that connects audio. What's audio? What's it in Korean? Umlang, right? Like a volume, sound. So it's going to check that your audio is connected. Okay. In here, you can raise your hand if you have a question, and you can lower your hand by clicking here on participants and then clicking raise your hand. So this is going to allow me to know that you want to talk, you want to say something. When you finish your question, you can push lower your hand. Okay, and I think this is all translated to Korean, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure out when you get in there. Okay, you can chat. So you click on chat, and then this box opens, and then you can send it to everyone, or you can write somebody's name here, or you can write somebody's name in there. So it depends. You can send like a private message, but be very careful. If you write something like, I hate this teacher, he's so boring, then you just send it to your friends. Don't accidentally send it to everybody, or it's going to be very funny, right? So practice using that. Practice using that so you don't make any mistakes when it comes time for the class. Okay, so if you want to use just sound, you can turn off the video like this, but I think that we're going to be using the video a lot in here. I want to use the video so we can get to know each other better. We can see each other's faces, and we can interact with each other, and you can see your friends who are in the class, right? So, but if we really need to, that's how you turn off the audio. That's how you turn off the audio. If you want to, if we have to. Okay, so let's take a look at the homework here. I hope you guys have figured out the Zoom. I want you to try Zoom today or tomorrow. Don't wait until one day before. Don't wait till the same day. I want you to try it today when you have a free time or tomorrow so you can start to understand it, understand Zoom and how it works, okay? So go back, pause the video, go back, check it, try to make a Zoom account while while you're watching the video. That way it's going to be easier, you can understand it better, and when next week comes around, you're going to be ready. Okay. So we're going to check the homework on page 22. I think that was your homework. Don't forget, these are going to be on your test on the week of April 23rd. And the midterm test is on our portal at NAMSL English. So if you attend the Zoom class, we'll be able to talk about the test a bit. We'll be able to talk about that test a bit, okay? Okay, so look at the first picture. Well, I've already told you here, it's G, a device for playing music. What is that? What is that called? A device for playing music is called an instrument or a musical instrument, okay? And it is a noun. What's a noun? Do you remember from your grammar class? Review. Well, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Right? In Korean, that's 명사. 명사. So an instrument is, of course, a thing. Next one. Do you guys know this character? Of course you know this character. Who is it? Well, this comic there's a few characters in there, right? This comic is Dragon Ball. We call him, in English, we call him Goku, but you guys have a different name for him, right? And this comic's actually in Spanish. Okay, it is a cartoon. Cartoon. Now we can say cartoon for animation or for like a manhwa, comic. In this case, we're using it meaning like a comic book. Okay, so it's a drawing that tells a story. Are you guys a fan of any comics? I'm kind of a fan of comics. I know some people really like a webtoon. Nowadays, webtoon is so popular. Like Itaewon Class was a webtoon before, right? What about you? Do you like webtoons? Are you into other comics? When I was young, I really liked Batman in some indie comics as well. Another thing you can do in your free time. Okay, and cartoon is of course a noun, 명사, often the subject of the sentence or the object of the sentence. So going at the beginning or going at the end. Cartoon is a noun. How about this picture? Looks very beautiful, right? Looks like a baekdusan. What is it? What's the vocabulary word on page 22? I think you know that is outdoor. Outdoor. So outdoor, what does outdoor mean? Well, it means open air, outside or not in a building. And it's an adjective. I think that's a 형용사, right? 형용사. So 형용사, an adjective, is always describing a noun, right? So outdoor activity, outdoor sports, outdoor something, okay? So there's sometimes we can use it kind of as a noun, but usually this is going to be an adjective, okay? Okay. How about this painting? Do you recognize this painting? Are any of you guys into art? Yes, this is a painting by Pablo Picasso, a well-known Spanish painter from the 20th century. I think most of you are familiar with his style a bit, right? So what is the vocabulary word that fits Pablo Picasso, do you think? What kind of person was Pablo Picasso? Right, creative, right? Creative, creative. And creative is H, having new ideas in making new things. Picasso, he experimented with new kind of painting, and he was able to change world art. He made a new kind of art. Okay. And what kind of word is creative? Is it a noun or a verb or an adjective? That's right, it's an adjective, 형용사. So, because it describes a person, it describes a place or a thing. So, of course, this kind of word is an adjective. How about this next one? What is this sport? It is bowling, of course, right? Do any of you guys bowl? I noticed recently it's gotten a little bit more popular in Korea to bowl. It's a game played by rolling. It's a really long definition. You know what bowling is. It has the same word in Korean, right? I thought that definition in the book D is a little bit hard. So it's a game you play when you roll a ball down what we call an alley, like a street, right? And you try to hit the wood namu pin, right, to knock them down. Yeah, I think we don't need to talk too much about bowling. We all know what that is, right? And what kind of word is bowling? Bowling is usually it's a noun, right? But you can use it also as a 동사, as a verb too, to bowl. I bowled yesterday. So it can be both a noun or a verb. Many words, like in Korean, can be like a noun or a verb depending on how we use them and where we put them in the sentence. How about this one? What's this picture? What's happening in this picture? What do you think? Well, to give someone the most recent information, J is called an update. I figured Korean students were probably most they knew this one probably from the computer, right? Computer, because you even in Korean, I think it says update, right? But an update can be like, it can be lots of things. We have a news update. I can give you an update about the test. Okay, it's the most recent, the newest information is an update. And of course, this can be a noun or a verb. Give me an update, or I'll update you when I know, 동사, verb. So also it can be both. It can be both. Okay, how about this one? Which picture does this fit best, do you think? Okay, this is a verb, 동사, to attend. You guys probably know like 출석, attendance in English. So it's to go to an event or a place. To go to event or place. Attend the meeting, attend class, attend church. And of course, like I already said, attend is a verb. It's a verb. We're not going to use this one as a noun. And a noun of attend is attendance or attention, maybe. And what's this one? It's a sport, right? This is kids practicing what we call in America football. It's practice, right? Practice. They're practicing football. Practicing football. So, what's the answer there? Right, F, to repeat something, to get better at it, to get better at it. So you practice English, I practice Korean, we practice lots of things, right? So this can be also a verb, I practice, or a noun, I go to football practice. I go to football practice. In this case, it can be. It can sometimes, especially if we're talking about like sports, it can be. What about this? This is kind of a hard one. Well, that's right. It's active. Active. Active has so many meanings. It's a little bit hard to exactly say it, but I think that's the closest. That's probably the closest to the real meaning here. So being busy doing something. Are you active? Are you an active person? Do you like to go out and exercise and stuff? Or are you inactive? You like to stay home? What do you think? So again, active is an adjective, 형용사. And this one is specific. This is a little bit hard, so I'm just going to show you that one. I think it's a little bit hard to figure it out. Specific means like exact. Exact. Okay. I think in Korean the closest word maybe is tukgyuhan. Tukgyuhan. So if I said, what did you eat for lunch? And you said meat, gogi. I could say, well, be specific. Be specific. tukgyuhan. Tell me exactly what kind of gogi you ate. Oh, I had a bulgogi burger. I had sausage. I had fried chicken, etc. Okay? So this is what we mean by be specific. Be specific. And this is, of course, I, of a special kind or particular. So is, of course, an adjective. Tell me the specific one. Okay, so those are the vocabulary words, guys. I take time to do them because they're such an important part of the book. So I would like you to, study those words, try to use them in a sentence. We'll talk about them, maybe hope to use them in a sentence when we have our Zoom class. Okay, so that's why I spend so much time on them. And I think some of them, not all of them, but some of them are very useful vocabulary words. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some grammar. And we're going to watch a sort of little video, okay? So we're going to talk about nouns. Remember we talked about 명사, and I told you in English, 명사, a noun is like a thing, right? A person, place, thing, or idea. And I think in English, like plural, something that's called a plural is very important when we talk about nouns. I think you guys say 복수형, right? 자열이 복수형은 children이다. So it's more. I think it's more important this plurals in English than it is in Korean. We have so many rules about plural and how to talk about plurals. Okay, and I notice like when Korean people speak, and not only Koreans, when I hear other people speak, and especially Asian people, Japanese, Vietnamese, and Chinese, they make a kind of same mistake when they're talking about plural. So I think it's kind of important. It's kind of important that we talk about it. So plural things, I mean, nouns are things that we can count, right? What is count? Count. 세다, right? So it's like telling how many of something that there are. But some nouns, even though they're things, we don't really count them. When we talk about them, we don't talk about them as though we count them. So these are called count nouns and in non-count or uncountable nouns. So they work like a little bit different, right? A little bit different. So like a count noun is 가산명사, right? And then like uncountable nouns. Well, do you guys know what is uncountable noun? Do you know? I forget what it is. This what was it? What's the previous of 불가산명사, right? So 가산명사, 불가산명사. So countable thing and uncountable thing. So in this picture, I put some countable things and uncountable things. Tomato, banana, grapes, apples, donuts. These are all things we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Non-count, coffee, bread, bacon, cereal, rice. We usually don't count these. There's some exceptions. There's many, many ways to talk about it, but usually we don't count those. Okay. So countable nouns and uncountable nouns, or count nouns and non-count nouns. So countable nouns and uncountable nouns in The Simpsons. So this is a pretty funny video. I hope it works for you guys. If not, I'll put the link in the bottom. But I think it should work. I think it should work. So we're going to watch this little video, and it has some pretty funny scenes from The Simpsons where they're talking with some countable and uncountable nouns. Okay?
3, 2, 1.
So the first one is advice.
Bart Simpson's stolen cell phone. Can I help you?
Damn straight you can. I'm Dennis Leary, and your kid is out of control.
I'm sorry, Mr. Leary. Sometimes it's hard to be a parent.
No, it's not. It's easy. I'll tell you what's hard, having to watch my stunt double run into a burning building, worrying that people might realize it's not me, it's him. Try doing that.
I don't think I could. Mr. Leary, I'm so sorry. I'll send you your phone back right away.
Keep the phone. In fact, can I give you some advice?
Of course. You're Dennis Leary.
Give your kid back the phone, but first activate its built-in GPS system. That way you can log onto your carrier's website and track your son's movements, the way I track every actor who gets a movie that I was up for.
Shouldn't you just be happy for their success?
I should be a lot of things, lady.
Music.
Me with your irony. Save me! Save me!
Have you really read all these books?
Well, morally, I couldn't display them on shelves if I hadn't. But I watch sports as well, just like a regular man. Good goddess, the Patriots are deep in Redskin territory. This isn't entertainment. It's genocide.
Why don't we put on some music?
No, I need whale songs. Marge, may I compliment your appearance?
Yeah, sure.
You look lovely. If I were to approach you for a kiss, would you construe that as harassment or give your willing consent?
Consent, of course.
Continuing in that line of thought, may I kiss your mouth with my mouth?
Just do it already.
Keep those pickled eggs coming, Mo.
You clean me out, Smoking Joe. What's the matter, Homer? Cummerbund too tight?
I miss my couch.
I know how you feel. You lost the couch. I lost the heavyweight championship.
Heavyweight championship. There's like 3 of those. That couch was one of a kind.
Homer, I know things are tough now. But one day you'll be walking along, and you'll see a piece of furniture you can love just as much.
Hey, Fraser, shut up!
Ronnie, you've been riding my back all night.
Oh, yeah?
News is another uncountable noun.
Oh, here she comes. Work your magic, Homer.
Is Lenny here?
Oh, I'm afraid Lenny's dead.
What? I just talked to him.
And you will again because he isn't really dead. And now this next piece of news won't seem so bad.
Okay, so if you guys didn't understand it, I know The Simpsons some part can be a little bit hard to understand. Don't worry about that. Just take your time and go back and listen to those parts where they say the vocabulary, wow, that noun, and notice how they don't count it. They don't say many music, right? They say some music, a lot of music. Because music, even though it's a noun, it's an uncountable noun, okay? It's uncountable. We'll talk a little bit about the rules about countable and uncountable nouns now. Okay, so things that I can count. So 3 oranges, 2 oranges. It's a countable noun. Fruits usually are going to be countable nouns. So you take the singular form the singular form, and you're going to write a or one in front of the noun, right? You remember what singular is, right? What's singular? Well, it's the opposite of plural. So, 단수형, right? 단수형 versus 복수형. So, or one plus the noun, an orange, one orange. And then you add the S, usually. Although English has some strange rules, but usually add the S. A potato. Potatoes. Things I cannot count. Uncountable nouns. So rice. Noun, we love to read books. Is it countable or uncountable? Well, you can see it is easily countable. How about please pass the salt? Salt. Is it countable or uncountable? That's right. It is uncountable, an uncountable noun. I just take some photos of the screen here. Noun, we need some chairs. Chairs, are they countable or uncountable? They are countable. Of course, the S on there is going to be a clue about that, right? There is a mango. I have an egg. Un. Why different? Why is that different? Singular and countable nouns. There are some apples. I have some eggs. Plural countable. There is some sugar. He has some bread. Uncountable. If we put some in front of it, that means it's uncountable in this case. There is blank banana in the recipe. So this is a banana split, right? So what's the answer? There is a banana in the recipe. It's a singular, countable noun. There is blank ice cream in the fridge. So ice cream. There are a lot of them there, right? So it's uncountable. Uncountable. Some ice cream in the fridge. Now there are some ways we can talk about it where we could say many ice creams in some ways, but usually we're going to say some in this case. There's some. Maybe we could say a lot of ice cream in the fridge. I need blank water to wash my hands. I need some water to wash my hands. Water, of course, is uncountable. We cannot count it unless we're talking about like a bottle of water or something along those lines. I'd like some juice. How about juice? Liquids, can we count them? What do you think? It's an unspecified quantity. We don't know how much. Unspecific. We don't know exactly how much. So I'd like a glass of juice. So this one, we know how much. We need a glass, right? So it's a specified quantity. It's an exact quantity. Some. So this is affirmative sentences. That means yes sentences. There's Paris Hilton, famous celebrity with a lot of money. There is some money. Negative sentences or interrogative, that means question sentences. Is there any money? No, there isn't. There isn't any money. I need blank time to study. What do you think it is? I need some time to study. Some time. There is blank cheese. What about cheese? Any or some? Is it countable or uncountable? There's some cheese. Some cheese. We cannot count cheese. There aren't blank horses in the field. So this is a negative sentence. This is a negative sentence, so we're not going to write some. We're going to say there aren't any horses. There aren't any horses, okay? How much or how many? Almost done, guys. We're almost finished, okay? How much, uncountable nouns, and we use how many with countable nouns, okay? So if we can count that noun, if we know exactly how many there are, then we're gonna use how many. So like, how many oranges do you have? And I'm talking about milk or water or juice. I'm gonna say, how much water do you have? How much orange juice do you have? So how much or how many cars are there? What's the correct answer? Take a minute, pause. That's right. How many cars are there? We can count cars. So how many? There are 6 cars. How much or how many sugar is there? What's right? Pause it. Think about it for a minute. How much sugar? Because sugar is something we cannot count. There are 3 spoons of sugar. We count the spoons, but we don't count the sugar. How much or how many pictures are there? How many? There are 6 pictures. How much or how many milk is there? It's how much. There are 2 boxes of milk. This is how we would count it. We would have to count like a box. But if we're just talking about the milk, we're only going to say how much. We can't count it. So for this one, remember, some or any. If it's a negative, then there is a negative here, so it's going to be any. There isn't any sugar. There are blank oranges in the fridge. Well, it's not a negative, right? So there are some oranges in the fridge. There aren't tomatoes on the table, so it's a negative. So there aren't any tomatoes on the table. There is blank oil in the kitchen. Again, it's not a negative, so we're going to say some. There is blank orange juice. Not a negative again, so we're going to say again some. Now, what if we said there isn't orange juice? Well, it's a negative, and if we said there isn't orange juice, then it's going to say any. There isn't any orange juice. Okay, so don't forget, we're coming up on test. We might have some parts about countable and uncountable nouns on your test, okay? Okay. Don't forget, upload your profile to the portal. If you didn't upload it, you have to upload it now. Practice the questions on your favorite movies for our Zoom meeting. Do pages, let's see, what page is that vocabulary? I think I wrote page 22 there, but I'm not sure. Did you guys already do that? I'm sorry, not page 22. I think you guys, we already finished 22, right? So I want you guys to do page 30, right? Because we already did that for homework, my mistake. Okay, page. I cannot write with this cursor, right? Okay, so it's page 30, okay? Page 30. And do page 31, the grammar. It's about the countable and uncountable nouns. Alrighty? And don't forget, wash your hands. Stay home as much as possible, unless you have to work. And again, don't forget about tests coming up on April 23rd, based on the questions from the book. Okay? Please try Zoom. Try it out. Get ready for our Zoom meetings coming up on the same week as the test. So try Zoom, try it out. I look forward to getting to see you guys and talk to you guys. Okay? Have a good week and see you soon. Bye-bye.